As an investor and developer, you make your money when you buy, not when you sell. My name is Gabriel Grant. Welcome to my series, Developing the Developer. Today, we're on episode 5, Price Matters the Most. The concept of you make your money when you buy, not when you sell, confuses a lot of people. So I want to break it down and make it easy for you. Most people don't understand that all the profit that you get in a building specifically comes when you purchase. I have an example for that. My 10,000 square foot property that I just purchased cost me around $550,000. Well, to me, that was an excellent price. Why? Because it appraised at $625,000. That's $75,000 of instant equity. I already own a percentage of this building. That's not even including the down payment that I put down. Again, the sooner you learn that price matters the most, the easier your transition into development and investment will be. As a developer, you must understand you are a financial investor as well. It is extremely important for you to understand your numbers and know where your profit margins lie. I knew if I could get the price of my building below the appraisal price, the exponential growth on the back half will be beautiful for me. Again, many developers don't hold projects for lifetimes. They use them to reinvest and sell. So maybe in 10 years when you look to sell, you'll be thankful for the price that you bought it at today. We must understand the numbers must work before the vision does. We can build this beautiful picture in our heads or even on paper, but if the numbers don't support it, the project won't work. That's where we need to look at comps for the rent, densities, and how much the city will allow you to build, and then what will your construction costs actually come out to. During this time, we're hoping that we are negotiating on a building. And during this, you want to make sure not only are you talking to the seller of the building, but you also want to maybe connect with a contractor in your community that can say, hey, this is what I am envisioning. Whether it be a 10-unit apartment building or a duplex, you need to understand what it's going to cost you to build that project. You don't need an exact number at this point, but having a ballpark estimate that's based in realistic numbers will help you negotiate how much you can purchase this building for. As I was negotiating the price for my commercial building, I had a vision for a 12-unit apartment building. But once I started looking at the rents versus the construction costs, I quickly understood that this wasn't going to make sense. So we elevated the vision, created more, and then finally got on the number that would work for this project. But at the same time, I was dealing with a seller who believed his building was worth so much more than what it really was. I really had to wrestle with understanding that I wanted this building and it fit the project so well, but if it didn't fit the budget, it didn't matter. Which leads me to my next point. Discipline separates developers from dreamers. We've all had that vision where we've driven through certain neighborhoods and said, oh, I wish, oh, I imagine I could make this or do that. Well, you're a developer now. We don't wish, we dream, but we turn it into reality. And reality is based on facts. And if your numbers don't make sense, you can't make the building. During my negotiations, I had to make a very hard decision to walk away. Many developers are terrified to walk away from negotiations because they believe their project is going to disappear. Someone else is going to buy the building. The only opportunity they have is right in front of them. Let's stop. Take a breath. You have to get out of that limited mindset. If you are made to make this project, there are so many opportunities out there for you. And if it's meant for you, nobody can take it away from you. Once you realize this, it gets really easy to walk away from a negotiation. But during my process, I had to learn this lesson. The building that I purchased was right in my community. I drove past it every day to and from errands with my parents. I walked past it every day as I went to school. When I went to my corner store, it was right across the street. This building had significant value to me. I grew up looking at that building. So when I had the opportunity to purchase it, the little kid in me was extremely proud. Again, as we were talking about developing your why for your project, one of my big whys is allowing other people who look like me to say, man, I can own my community. I can be a developer. And that really mattered to me. But what I foolishly did was share that information openly with the seller of the property. And they tried to use this information against me because they knew I cared so much about the property, there was no way I would walk away from a deal. The building owner wanted to sell his property for $725,000. It was ridiculous. The property had been on the market for a year and a half, and there were no real buyers looking to make a move on it. Finally, I came in and gave him an offer. Some would say it was a little bit disrespectful, but for me, it was based on the comps from other buildings that had sold in the area. Also, I had deliberately done the math to see what would fit my budget in terms of creating the long-term project. I understood that the building that was standing there today was not going to be the building that I built. I offered $525,000 for the building. They immediately scoffed at the offer and told me they didn't want to do business with me. That was fine. I had to walk away. A month later, they lowered the price to $625,000. Well, this was a perfect opportunity for me to re-engage with the seller. I said, hey, this is a building and a project that I really love. And they knew I loved it. They knew I wanted it, but they didn't want to move the price anymore. In their eyes, there was no way that the developer who lived in this community and grew up walking past this building was going to walk away from the deal again after the seller had already cut $100,000 off the price. But they were wrong, because again, I stood firm in my numbers and understanding that this property is not worth what you are asking for. And the proof is in the pudding that no other developers were coming to your door trying to buy your property. So after some tough negotiations, we finally were able to meet. And I can tell you, it wasn't in the middle. I bought the property for $550,000, nearly $200,000 less. And what made this so important is when we got the property appraised, it appraised at $625,000. That is $75,000 in instant equity. That was important because when I put down 20%, I already had $75,000 in equity. This continued to make me own more and more of the property outright and made my mortgage less and less. The lesson that I hope you take from this is, even though you are emotionally invested in a property, you have to be okay with walking away. That can make or break your project. I hope this is bringing you an immense amount of value. Please share this with someone else. Like the video. I'm extremely excited to see you on the next episode of Developing the Developer.